No longer is it altitude in New Mexico. It's 100-degree temperatures in the Central Valley. 18 weeks separate the Week 1 matchup, a 1-1 draw between Fresno and expansion side New Mexico. And since that time, Fresno moved to third in the West. New Mexico went to the Open Cup quarterfinal. They meet tonight at Chuck Chansey Park. Tonight's match brought to you by Community Medical Centers. Hi, everybody. Mike Watts, Dale Schilly on the call for this one. Our matchup of the game brought to you by Own a Car Fresno. Own a Car Fresno, drive with style. Jamal Johnson always plays with style.
Yeah, Jamal Johnson has 6 goals this year for the Foxes, and with the suspension of Jaime Chavez, he's going to have to come inside and unleash from distance, or at least combine with Cutis Lawal to get some chances of goal.
Meanwhile, Josh Suggs has dealt with injuries this year. Jamal Johnson, a handful for any player, but Suggs the kind of guy who changes a game now that he's back.
Yeah, and this is a significant time of the season for New Mexico. Josh Suggs is going to have to take some leadership opportunities here and help lead the players back up the table.
So Suggs and New Mexico on the road here. Let's take a look at tonight's road to victory for both sides. It's brought to you by Travel Shop.
Well, first for Fresno, they like to overload the inside channel. So their wide guys will come inside and try to get onto the ball and connect with their front guys. And Martin Del Campo and Mickey Daly are going to have to be good in the center of the back and do a good job of box defending against the Devin Sandoval.
Meanwhile, for New Mexico United.
Yeah, in that left channel, you got Suggs and you have Santi Moar, who are 2 of the better players in the league, and they can own that left side of the channel and create services or chances of goal. And Devin Sandoval is going to have to try to stretch the game and maybe make some room for Weehan underneath him.
Well, you heard it from the man himself. Dale Schilly speaks. Everybody's listening. Here we go. Fresno 4 points out of first place coming into the night. They're in third right now. New Mexico, belief was not enough in the Open Cup, but they're on the road now. Can they get back on track? New Mexico, Fresno coming up next. Ball is officially on the field. Fresno and New Mexico United set to meet at Chuck Chansey Park in downtown Fresno. The Foxes and the New Mexico side that comes off a disheartening loss that ended up their magical open run. Tonight's match brought to you by Community Medical Centers. We take a look at the starting lineup. It's brought to you by El Mexicano. Adam Smith making 2 changes. Johnson in for the suspended Jackson. Sam Strong out. Arun Basulovic in.
Yeah, just interesting to see Basulovic and Lawal play together up front. You have a little bit of a yin and a yang. Lawal with the ability to get in behind, and Basulovic with the ability to combine and maybe put him in.
Meanwhile, New Mexico United Lineup brought to you by El Mexicano. Cody Mizell gets the call in goal. 4 changes from their game on Wednesday night. Out goes Sampson, Yearwood, Guzman, and Bruce.
Yeah, again, looking at the front players, just looking at Sandoval and Weehan together, I think it's a great pairing. Weehan being the one that's going to be insightful and looking for ways to play Sandoval or wide guys, Moar and Estrada in. Sandoval looking to stay in the central channel to score goals.
Jamal Johnson standing over the ball. A 1-1 draw when these teams last met. Goals by Sandoval and Jackson in that game. Sandoval in the backdrop. Matthew Thompson, the referee for this affair. Thompson blows the whistle. Here we go. Central Valley of California, second ever meeting between Fresno and New Mexico. Judas Lawal going right for it. Kicked away by Santi Moar. Dale, you've been on both ends of a exhilarating Open Cup win or a league loss or an Open Cup loss, and how you respond is always interesting. And well, how does New Mexico respond?
It's difficult. You know, you can say the distraction is over, but you still leave your heart back with where you were with the Open Cup because of your hopes and desires to, you know, move on to that next round and continue that fight.
Vasulovic, Ellis Hayden, to get that cross away. He committed a foul in the process.
Boy, that's what Vasulovic offers. Gets onto the ball in between the lines, gets a quick turn, and slides Ellis Hayden in. If that's what his role is going to be tonight, it's going to be very difficult on the center backs for New Mexico.
Free kick for Cody Mizell. Truth be told, it's tough to blame him for many of the goals that occurred against Minnesota United. A couple probably still sting for him. Ended up being a 6-1 defeat at the hands of the MLS side. Cochran dropping back, kicked out by Ramon Martin Del Campo.
Almost felt like that New Mexico scored too early.
Yeah.
You know, it just gave too much time. Woke up Minnesota. Would have been nice to maybe get in a little bit for a while, although it's hard to say let's not score.
Yeah, right. 35-year-old Troy Lassane was in the forefront there. He was hired. He was one of 10 coaches under the age of 35, which makes both Dale and I feel old. Gets sent out. Ball's taking some pictures. Let's take a look at tonight's injury report. It's brought to you by Physio Motion. Seth Moses out for the foreseeable future with a foot injury. New Mexico has no injuries. Of course, what really hurts are all the suspensions in this game. No Jackson, no Chavez. Kevon Frater, a massive loss. And Juan Pablo Guzman had a red card near the end of their game against Real Monarchs last time out in the league for New Mexico. So he's out.
Cudis will run everything down. He's a very hard-working center forward with good technique, and he can play as a target and run in behind. He will make life very difficult on any center back.
Defeated Daly. Kuramoto. And you see them overload that left-hand side right off the bat where Vasulovic steps off to the left-hand side. A little trouble here for Kaffa, covered by Sandoval. Off the head of Weehan. And down by Estrada.
That's going to be what they look for, though. New Mexico's going to look to play into Weehan. Let him decide if the ball bounces back or gets played in for Sandoval.
There's poor from Williams that leads to this and slid back by Schmidt. Elijah Martin moving into a more familiar left back role. He's played around a bit, holding midfield of late. Jamal Johnson.
What we talked about there is the wide players finding themselves inside. Johnson playing wide right, finds himself in the inside channel and on the ball on the left side.
Sandoval in the midst of it again. Kuramoto slides it forward. Perhaps New Mexico just a tidge unsettled. Ellis Hayden slides it ahead. Good ball and a heavy touch. And Jamal Johnson.
Jamal Johnson put in a mile in the first 5 minutes of the game, getting from sideline to sideline.
Thank you to our ball kid sponsors.
It is amazing because we came into this game going, well, of course Jamal Johnson would be on the left, but Jackson's out and Cooper plays on the left, and the way the pieces fit together, Johnson started on the right, but yeah, he's touched every blade of grass in between.
It's hard to stay organized and keep your shape defensively when there's so much movement, especially lateral movement. You have to communicate, pass players on, try to figure out how you're going to deal with them, and then you have outside backs like Martin and Ellis Hayden that can provide quality when they get forward and then from the wide channel.
Goal for Santi Moar. Cooper couldn't slide through. Pushed ahead by Padilla. Out of the reach of Estrada. Well, if you're Fresno, this is a team that's on a 5-game unbeaten streak. You and I talking before the game. There are a lot of pieces here where if everything fits together, everybody stays healthy. This is about where they belong. Third in the West and a chance to get closer to Phoenix tonight. They won already, so chance to stay within 4 of the Western Conference lead.
They're very organized, and sometimes when you talk about teams being organized, you refer to their defending. But on the ball, when they're in possession, they're very organized. They take up good spaces. They have a good relationship between each other. They have a good understanding about who's going deep, who's coming in, how they're going to get the ball switched out of pressure. So it's a good group, and it's a team that fits together nicely. The pieces fit together nicely.
Saw Adam Smith there a moment ago. Troy Lesane, both taking over expansion teams in these last 2 years. And both putting a lot of chips into the Open Cup in their first year. Fresno played at LAFC and fell. New Mexico finishes their run at Minnesota United. Moar got by Daly. Trying to ping that along. The Cochran kept that in on the line. Dale, you've been at the helm of an expansion team. You don't know what kind of depth you have when you start, and there's some trying moments.
You really don't know what's happening until you have to take the first ball out of the net that goes against you. You know, the first time you get kicked, the first time you give up a goal, that's when you see how guys respond, and that's truly when you start to know what you're really dealing with.
What Adam Smith told us this week. We know what New Mexico does now. They're trying to parse scouting reports from connections they had. They played New Mexico in preseason. It was helter-skelter. Vasulovic got the cross away and whittles by Cooper. Long run here, and the flag helps Martin keep it in. Muhammad.
So patient in possession is Fresno. They find little gaps. They're willing to play into each other's feet.
Cooper, Vasulovic. Vasulovic goes down. Referee his hands down by his side and waving them side to side.
Devin's going to need a little more support. He can't be on an island alone against the 2 center backs, Del Campo and Daly.
Guess someone's going to get a black eye, right? Put those 3 together.
Yeah.
Ball clipped out in front. A high hop on Ellis Hayden. Sandoval.
Same 2 very patient. Don't feel like they have to force the ball in. We see Suggs inverting and coming inside to deal with the build-up, giving Santi more the full wide channel to play in.
There's Martin. Kappa. Wall hacking down, setting up Vasulovic. Advantage played. Johnson knocks the cross along. Vasulovic was nearby. Kept alive by Kuramoto. Too far out in front of Johnson.
Stay up to date with Fresno
Pacey
FC by visiting
for
our official
103
website
degrees.
at FresnoFC.com.
We'll see. It's been 10
Yeah.
minutes, right?
I mean, I'm surprised at how quickly guys are getting up and down the field and getting into positions to move the ball.
Fresno FC at FresnoFC.com.
Good news, it's grass. I know you know as well as anybody, 100 degrees on turf is 150.
Yeah. And this one's in the shade.
True enough. That extra half hour did wonders, I'm sure, in a 7:30 kickoff. Flag up here.
Sulovic seems very comfortable in that position underneath Kudus. Has gotten onto the ball 3 or 4 times in dangerous positions between the lines. He's really tidy on his turn. He's comfortable getting onto the ball and getting his shoulders faced up quickly.
Stay down!
Picked up by Cochran. Good news, it's a dry heat. 21% humidity. I mean, this is, you can bake some French fries on the concrete, but you don't feel like you're running around in soup. Well, it's funny because they were talking about the similarities and the differences in the lead up to this game between week 1 and now week 19. And
Maybe number 1, huh?
yeah, they've traded in humidity for altitude for inhumid, dry heat. Ball lobbed over the top, kept alive. Cooper punched away. Mizell. Not a great clearance. That's better. Only as far as Johnson. Johnson can hit from here. Sent that screaming into Fire Squad Fresno.
What we talked about before the game, though, Johnson coming inside in that inside channel, overloading that part of the field and really just unleashing from there. And later in the game, we're going to see him face up, and you're going to see him combine with Vasulovic or Q and try to run off and play a 1-2 or a third man combination. But it's all set up by his ability to shoot from outside.
6 goals this year for Jamal Johnson.
1 behind Kudus Lawal, by the way.
That's because Kudus Lawal had the month to end all months. There's a precious few number of players that get hot quite like that. Kudus did it. Tyler Pasher in the East did it. Solomon Asante just did it. But if Lawal keeps busting in like this, it's got by Schmidt. Lawal, the extra touch, the shot is on, saved Mizell, knocked free. Kaffa got forward.
What an incredible save by Mizell. What a difficult save because of the number of passes in the 18.
Vasulovic there, it's knocked away, ball bouncing around, and the whistle comes late. Vasulovic continuing to knock at the door. Lawal and Vasulovic combining again, and Fresno's quietly started to grab this game by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, I mean, there's the ball switched out. Big save by Mizell. Maybe Cooper didn't get all of it. Great couple of moments from Lawal, though. Playing, getting a hold of it, laying balls off for players. His work rate is phenomenal. Obviously, when you look at the man, he's as strong as they come. matches up against every center back.
Mizell drives it away last year in Tampa Bay. Will Collins just felt his confidence lacking as the year went along, and ultimately Daniel Vega, who's now San Jose Earthquakes and has had a really nice year from Matias Almeida, ended up jumping into that job. Adam Smith has questions that won't be answered. It'll be answered, I just don't think you'll like it.
Yeah, he won't like the answer. Sometimes you just don't listen to the answer either because you know what's coming.
These are two of the most personable coaches in the league. I don't know if fourth officials feel that way. Weehan driving toward the penalty spot, picked up.
Fresno with a really high line on that restart. It's something that New Mexico will go to school on for future restarts. They may have to send an outswinger to get in behind that line.
Slid away, but Lawal gives chase. Padilla.
He works. Lawal just works. I'm sure New Mexico thought the ball was going out of bounds, and Cudis just stayed on it.
You know, Adam Smith, when he signed Cudis Lawal, said he spoke with Mark Briggs, who was around him in Wilmington, and he said, look, he's really raw, but if you get his head right and you get the professionalism right, Cudis Lawal could score you a lot of goals. He could be a game changer. He has been just that.
Well, I've seen him as a youth growing up. Had him in camp and in trials. He's young, but now he's grown. He's 4 years older than when I saw him, 5 years old. He's probably 23, 24 now as a guess on my part.
Yeah.
He's matured and looks good.
23 now. He trialed in November, that game against Club Leon in Fresno. A multi-million-dollar striker scores for Leon, and Cudis Lawal scores for Fresno.
And he doesn't know the difference.
That earns a contract.
That earns a contract, and he doesn't know the difference, nor does he care.
On the same token, Chavez and Cheney left the door open. He's busted it down. Fresno wanted to come out, pedal to the metal. They've done that. Screaming out of the blocks. Martin plays it forward. Lawal kept alive. Cooper. Penalty. Sam Hamilton got his foot involved.
Kick awarded to
And
Fresno
Fresno a
FC.
chance to grab the lead in the 17th, going on the 18th minute. And Troy Lesane is clearly frustrated.
Q's in the middle of this. Martin with a good ball in. Q fights to hold on to it. Touches to the side. What do you think?
I think Hamilton's extended leg made that easier for the referee than otherwise would have been.
I agree. He was a little upright in the individual defending moment. He gets a little bit lower, and maybe it comes off as a tackle.
Well, you said it. Lawal's got 7. Johnson's got 6. And Mizell has come up with some big stops over the years, including on penalties.
Yeah, this is not a given.
Jamal Johnson to give Fresno the lead in the 18th minute. Johnson sent Mizell the wrong way. Fox's lead.
Well, it's a really positive start. Really positive start. And not just because of the goal. It's because of the play leading up to all the moments that they've created. Johnson does send him the wrong way. Pulls it back the other direction, opens his hips up, turns his toe, slides it into the side netting. But Fresno deserves the goal because of the way they've started the first 15, 18 minutes of this game.
So Jamal Johnson has given Fresno an advantage in the 19th minute.
Fresno just hasn't given the ball away. Under difficult situations, I'm looking at Martin and Kafa and Kurimoto, and I'm thinking they're going to give that pass away, and they haven't.
Chance chance here to break through, and out pops Mizell. And Sandoval came close twice in the opening, call it 5 minutes or so. You cough one of those up, and this whole game is different.
Yeah. There's that inside channel again. There's 4 players in the inside channel, at least 3 players in the inside channel. It looks like Jamal Johnson has free reign to come inside. Alex Cooper is going to stay wide in the wide channel and attack the end line, as you've suggested.
Sandoval, Moar, good recovery, Kurimoto.
You know, I think Weehan and Sandoval are a good pairing, but Weehan can't get himself involved high enough to join Sandoval. So Sandoval's 1-on-2 plus an outside back when the ball gets played into him.
And the lead up to that game against Minnesota, Kevon Frater, yellow card accumulation in the Open Cup, handed the USL Championship. This is his second suspension. Pushing in and lifted across. Bryce Sandoval, and Cochran gets there on the Suggs cross.
It's an interesting moment there because Suggs inverts. He comes inside to get a ball in the build-up, and after a couple of movements, a little rotation, he finds himself higher for a ball in behind.
But without Kevon Frater, who is much of a pacey forward, run at the back line guy, as Cooper pushes forward. All deflected en route, and Schmidt makes no mistake. It's a big loss for New Mexico. It changes a lot. He's got 11 goals this year.
And he's more than just that.
Yeah.
He's good in the build-up. He's good building up in the front half of the field to the 18 where you're going to create chances.
Circling around, cross-driven, off the head of Hamilton.
He can play in combination. He can be composed. He can slow a game down, Kevon can. So he does a lot for you. And they're missing that piece of it. They can't really get a hold of the ball higher up the field in order to make Devin more effective. Right now, Devin's having to play as the target to help allow players to get forward with him.
Bouncing ball on that infield.
Nothing wrong with the patience here. Just they need to settle down a little bit. Get Fresno out of their rhythm. Maybe rotate a couple of players. Here comes Suggs back central again. The only issue there is when Suggs pops in, Santi pulls back. That helps in giving an option to play, but it doesn't put Santi Moar higher up the field where he can finish chances and create opportunities.
Cooper. New Mexico 40 days ago were first. Goodness, this could be devastating. The slide in by Del Campo enough to slow that surging New Mexico tide.
Del Campo was such a good box defender, such a good center back, but certainly not the fleetest of foot.
Estrada defending on Elijah Martin. Cooper gonna get that call twice. Cooper will deflect to Mizell. New Mexico was in first about a month and a half ago, and then the Open Cup comes along. They really haven't been home since May 5th for any extended period of time. They're actually on a week-long road swing because they went from Minnesota straight to Fresno, never went back to Albuquerque. Actually trained in Blaine at the Minnesota United practice facility on Thursday after their game, and then flew. And ultimately, they went from first to 8th. over that 40-day span.
Yeah, it makes you scratch your head about where do you put your eggs.
I think ultimately, if you're ownership Peter Trevisani, or you are the coaching staff or the players, don't you want that quarterfinal moment against an MLS team? Isn't that
100%?
Yeah,
100%. If you
I
can,
would.
Yeah, if you can get there, you want to experience it. You want 3 games against the MLS sides. Those are all great games to have, and an opportunity to showcase the individuals, showcase your club, showcase the league. But then when you look back over your shoulder and you look at where you were and where you are, it's a head scratcher.
I was asking Troy when it felt real for New Mexico and Minnesota. And they've got a big manual scoreboard. They printed their logo with a 3D printer onto that scoreboard, and saw Adrian Heath on the field. He knows a lot of the staff in Minnesota. And then the anthem and the walkouts and the light show and all that together was the crystallizing moment. Cross for New Mexico. Oh, struck and saved remarkably by Cochran off Muhammad's effort.
Cochran.
Wow.
Good restart. Good restart from the outside channel. Instead of playing big into the box, they play short for Muhammad to come back off the mark, hit a volley. Good save. Spilled it and was able to cover up on it.
Kaffa. Cooper for Lawal. Hamilton's there. If that goes in, we're talking about a soft goal. If he corrals it, we're talking about a great initial save. Came in with a lot of pace, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's a tough one to
It's a tough
see,
one.
too.
Yeah, and when you hit the, you have a header from 6 yards out, it's one thing. You have a guy coming off a mark and hitting a side volley. You don't know where it's going, and he can hit with more pace. Kaffa's enjoying a lot of time on the ball, deeper on the field. Kermodo's doing a good piece of work for him, making Kaffa's job a little bit easier.
If you're New Mexico, do you close that space down around Kaffa and try and suffocate him?
You're going to have to, because if he continues to be able to pick people out, they're going to stay on the ball as they are. When you do that, when you step higher, you're going to either create gaps in between and Basulovic will become more important, or you're going to squeeze your back 4 up and then the ball over top for the wall will become available. So it's just really picking your poison.
Oh, right back up the gut. Got by Jamal Johnson. Alice Hayden. Basulovic. Johnson. Suggs.
First time we saw Johnson kind of lose his nerve.
That's a poor challenge. Kaffa reaching out to the referee. I just missed that one, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything malicious to it. It just seemed like he came firing in.
Yeah, and he's talked his way out of it. We've come to this age where every hard challenge, people are looking for a card, and I don't know if that's the real situation.
Take advantage of our newest family pack. 5
And they're not
midfield
cards.
field
I
tickets.
thought you were going to say we were looking for
$55.
VAR.
That's right, 5 midfield tickets for $55 for any remaining
Just
match.
feel like the game
Stop by
has
the courtesy booth
has gone, I
section
don't want to say soft, but it's gone a little bit in the direction of overprotection.
For more
The game
information.
was meant to be competitive and physical.
Get off your lawn. And New Mexico's well aware. they feel Fresno's very physical. And I think you and I, in talking about it in the lead up to this game, went a lot of that comes straight from a guy like Ramon Martin Del Campo, right? But
sure,
you just saw Kaffa mix it up.
That doesn't happen very often.
Fair enough. I thought he won a corner out of that, but Estrada, the wily veteran he is.
Sandoval's too deep.
Suggs away from the wall, but not much further. Combined with Moar.
Lawal is not allowing the game to be easy.
Lawal cuts it across, chance now. Vasilovic spoiled it.
Boy, a great ball by Arun Vasilovic, and then a great ball by Lawal. And Vasilovic would love to have that one back. Vasilovic puts Lawal in. Really well done by Vasilovic to get into the right spot after Lawal's service. But boy, you got to finish that. That one, if you stub your toe here in the rest of the game, that one's going to haunt you, because that's a free chance from the PK spot.
Hydration break. Everybody gets a chance to ice up a little bit. Here's the play back in the 17th minute. Hamilton following Alex Cooper in the box. Johnson penalty.
Yeah, and you know, just the lead up to that, there was like two little up back combinations where the ball got played into Cutis, lays the ball off, the ball got another pass or two into Cutis again, lays it off again, and then you know, I think it was Cooper that got taken down for the PK, and Johnson finishes it. Johnson's been very active. He's been all over the field, has had a lot of the ball in the front half. They've been solid. Mexico's going to have to figure out how to connect with Sandoval a little bit. Need to be a little more forward playing, and Weehan's going to have to be more active and get on the ball more. We just haven't seen enough from him, or Santi Moar for that matter.
How in the world is Troy Lassane wearing a jacket?
Well, he's thin and his body's cool, and you know, you or I had a jacket on, it'd be a whole nother story.
You want melt? Adam Smith is wearing a less dressy attire a little bit. Suggs in New Mexico make their way back out of the field. Fresno alongside them. But you know what? Adam Smith is wearing a long sleeve shirt too, so.
There's fans back there we don't know about.
If only. I hope the fans
underneath the benches.
Yeah, right. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
He gets it. Ball lobbed over the top. Daly will chase this down. And Moar gets tossed off the ball. And it is a free kick.
It's good hustle from Moar to chase that down.
Huh? Be fucking dangerous, man.
You can't give up. You have to keep fighting. You have to turn the tide somehow. The best way to do it is to end up in possession in the front third somehow to create opportunities, whether the restarts or chances from play. He's a good ball striker. Hits a good restart.
4 goals, 3 assists last year for Reno. For Ian Russell. Part of the San Jose Earthquake organization. Ball lined across, bouncing down. That got cleared.
It's all timing on that one. That was close. Good defensive header from Fresno just to get on the end of it.
Moar showing off his hands. Weehan actually had other offers.
Right, a little tighter.
A couple MLS teams were interested, went to camp in Montreal. Part of the deal there in New Mexico is the idea that potentially an MLS deal would void what they had put together there, which is fairly common. Ultimately, Mexico lucked out. And Weehan's personal misfortune not making the squad in Montreal gave Troy Lesesne and the United a phenomenal player for their expansion season. It's almost impossible to imagine them without him.
Very influential, important for the group as a leader and as a player. Fresno's caught him a little bit on in transition on a restart.
Vasulovic has been bright. The finishing touch hasn't been there. 35 minutes gone. Fresno, a penalty. Cashed in the 18th minute. Trying to extend their 5-game unbeaten streak. New Mexico 5 winless. Trying to avoid any of the half dozen. Throw for Padilla.
Mexico just needs to hang in there. They can't give up any more chances. There's a break. Finally, we have some numbers forward.
Weehan, Moar, angle tightening, and Cochran parries it aside.
CJ Cochran!
He rips the ball into the corner.
And Ellis Hayden with a huge, not a block, but we'll see here in the replay, Ellis Hayden goes down to block it, but he gets down early enough that Moore has to wait one more step and takes his angle away and makes it easier for Newton. Cochran.
Indeed. The cross caught there. I've been watching games all night. St. Louis game, what, against Charlotte was wild.
Yeah.
Out in the East.
Hartford and Indy was wild.
Indeed. Both those finished 2-1. New York Red Bulls 2 fired 8 past Atlanta United 2. 8-1 win there. Phoenix 1-0 win in Edinburgh, Texas. 9 straight wins. How often do you see a team grab 27 straight points in the league?
Yeah. Never.
The fact
Never.
Fresno's sticking around in the title race right now is pretty wild. 7 back now with a game in hand, and another game if you include this one, so they get back to 4 with a game in hand. The elastic totally stretched on Ellis Hayden's boxers.
Yeah, New Mexico needs to get into the locker rooms. I was saying earlier, regroup, communicate with each other, get back together, refocus. They still could come out of this with a goal before half. They don't want to give one away. They go in at 1-0. They're okay. Coach Lesesne will get them together. Leadership, Suggs, Weehan, get the guys together, talk.
Talk about a man who needs a hydration break. Certainly he's lost more than he put in.
Yeah.
I feel you. Free kick here. The Maestro himself, Juan Pablo Caffa. Feathers the ball over the top. Headed in front. Got Daly up there. Comes out to Vasulovic.
Good win from Hamilton. That's a difficult ball for a center back to deal with. The one that's headed back across the face of the goal because you stepped wide. Isel deals with the space behind the back 4, which is one of his strengths. Del Campo's tough to deal with on the punts, goal kicks. Helps keep the game in the front half of the field.
Are you saying he's very physical?
He's very difficult. He's very good in the air.
On social media at FFC Foxes on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's FFC Foxes on all
He's had a
social
good
media
half. And Elijah
platforms.
Martin's been very good. I don't know that he's given a ball away yet. Seems every time he's under pressure, he's able to find a way out. Hasn't done a whole lot in the front third of the field in terms of providing service, but in terms of maintaining possession and helping guys find their way, he's been good.
Weehan, bouncing ball comes in front, and there's the goal, the equalizer. Justin Schmidt at the back post. All level now in Fresno. His first goal of the year. Massive.
A massive goal. Just a massive goal. So, you know, here's the restart, and restart to the way you're going to get it. And it's the second time that they served the ball short. Maybe because they don't feel like they can deal with the flighted ball and don't match up well. And Schmidt gets on beyond the back post and tucks it in. No defensive clearance. Nobody getting on the end of the service from Fresno, and that's the game. That's just the way the game is. Fresno's been on the ball, inventive, creative, finding ways to create opportunities and chances. New Mexico has been scrapping. All they can do is put out as much energy as they can to hang in there in this game and get to halftime. They get a restart, and there it is, 1-1.
60th career appearance for Justin Schmidt across MLS, the championship, and the Open Cup. His first ever goal. Long ball played across for Daly. And Mizell goes to congratulate Hamilton, who's bounced back nicely, I would say, from the penalty.
Yeah, that's two defensive headers that he's dealt with in one. And you know, sometimes when you just have to grit out points, that's what you need to do. Every restart, every moment in front of the goal, you just have to be a good box defender. And so far, Hamilton at least is done with the head balls.
Hamilton was with the Rapids last year, who New Mexico actually dispatched from the Open Cup. He was loaned out to Phoenix, and Patrice Carteron, who was the coach there for the first half of the season, actually told me he ran a mile more in training than anybody else on the field. He called it amazing, Hamilton.
As a center back, I don't know if that's great.
Well, he was playing a little more midfield back in those days.
All right.
Yeah.
Then it's fine. Then why wasn't it 1.5?
That means he ran 6 miles more than Didier Drogba.
He was there?
He was?
He was at training?
Wow. That's not Didier training.
Yeah.
Amazing how everybody gravitated to him. But he genuinely was quite magnetic. Would have guys over for cookouts at his house. I'm sure he charged an entrance fee or not. Vasilovic giving chase.
Awkward ball out there from Hamilton. Don't know if he had a target in mind or not, but a dangerous vertical pass. I could see Fresno having another opportunity before the half's over. They've been good enough on the ball. They've been inventive. We haven't seen much of Vasilovic over the last 15 minutes or so. Cudis the same. Heavily active in the first 20-25 minutes of the half. A little quiet lately.
Well, one out to touch. Coming up at halftime, New Mexico did lead in that Open Cup game. We'll show you some of the highlights from that. And what a road trip they're on, racking up the miles. And Fresno hitting their strides. Some news and notes from around the league. Show you the two biggest highlights from this first half, maybe a bit more. A couple goals. 40th minute from Justin Schmidt off a restart, and Jamal Johnson, the 18th, off a penalty kick. We're coming up here at the break.
Padilla has settled down here towards the end of the half. Fresno was finding some holes in behind and in front of him earlier. Cremoto's been good on the ball as well.
Slide there. So Kaffa talked himself out of one, but he's not going to talk himself out of this.
And this one was certainly deserved. And he didn't try to talk himself out of it. Oh. Yeah, the result of a poor first touch, which could have been the result of the sodded field, sodded part of the field. Ball got away from him, and instincts have you go and challenge, and in that instant it was unwarranted.
3 added minutes. We did have a hydration break and a penalty in this first half. This isn't meant to demean Juan Pablo Kaffa, that I'm surprised, but that is his first yellow card of the year. Mawar.
Yeah, earlier in the half, we saw Kaffa deeper in the field, was really linked up with the center backs and was dictating the game and where the game was being played from back there. Now he's found himself a little higher. He's a little less influential right now. Can't quite find the gaps that he's looking for.
Fired up toward Estrada. Martin can't get a hold of that. Estrada looking for Sandoval, making that dynamic run.
Just couldn't catch up to him.
Offside flag is up. New Mexico pushing some pace here. A little confidence after that goal.
Feeling better about themselves.
A little confidence goes a long way.
It's just interesting, the similarities between the run of New Mexico and the run of St. Louis in league play while they went through their cup wins, where both teams in their last 5 games only accrued 2 points each. Each team went 2 draws and 3 losses in their last 5 games. And you've got to fight your way back out of that hole now and start to feel better about your game and pull yourself up the standings through your performance. And it looks like New Mexico is trying to fight that. And I think St. Louis showed that in the second half of their game this evening, as we watched a little bit earlier.
Matches set for next Saturday, July 20th, here at Chancey Park.
But it's not easy when your legs just won't move. And it's these guys, as much traveling as New Mexico has done, as you've said, it's a tall task to ask them to go out and put in the work that they're asked to put in.
Speared onward. Cooper giving chase and a little shielding from Schmidt. Mizell will race out. That may take us to the break. Well, now I'm confident it'll take us to the break. There we go. Halftime 1-1. Thoughts, Dale?
Yeah, I thought early on, I thought Fresno was willing to play shorter and be more patient in their play, and they were able to play through Cutis to create opportunities. As the half went on, they started playing longer, and they didn't create the same number of chances.
Goal scored in the 16th minute for Fresno FC.
Fresno and New Mexico level terms. Fresno led first, team 5 straight unbeaten. New Mexico answers, and aside 5 winless, feeling far more confident now. We've got plenty coming up at halftime. Sure you stick around. News and notes, highlights and stats all coming up. So often you hear the fa la 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 LAFC given all the Bob Bradley talk that's been abound. Well, Fresno does it just the same way, and they've done it a lot lately. 1-1 at halftime, Fresno and New Mexico. And Fresno is very much hitting their stride right now, Dale. They have gone 5 unbeaten, 3 wins in that stretch. They're outscoring opponents in a way that maybe isn't awe-inspiring, but you talk about it, organized, allows you to make these kinds of runs.
Very good. They're very organized. They understand their roles when they're in possession, and when they're patient on the ball and find their way to play into their front players in combinations, they're very, very dangerous. Now, on the other side, when they get too direct, then you can see where maybe they can't connect and create as many chances.
Meanwhile, Sacramento, finally you won the Highway 99 Derby, long overdue in Fresno's eyes. And meanwhile, New Mexico United, well, they're just coming off a great Open Cup run.
Yeah, I mean, there you see the restart goal, and you know, what was that, the first 6 minutes of the game?
Yeah.
But they've, you know, that takes a toll on you. It's been very difficult.
But then Angelo Rodriguez, Darwin Quintero, it's 5-1 at halftime, and they end up falling 6-1. It's a wonderful run. I think everybody is going to remember this for as long as they live that's around New Mexico United. They flew a charter jet of nearly 200 fans. They called it the Lucky 180. But that's a lot of miles on the bodies. You talked about it. Sometimes it's just hard to run when your legs don't work.
Yeah, and you would not trade that experience for the players, for the fans, for the club, for anything in the world. You would do it the same way again. You know, getting 3 MLS games in your Open Cup is highly unusual. Making it to the quarterfinal is an outstanding accomplishment.
And then New Mexico plays this team from Wales called Cardiff City. That'll be a fun one on Thursday at the Lab in Albuquerque. So it's halftime here in New Mexico, and Fresno level. The lights are on, and the mercury is high up in the thermometer. 100-degree night. We'll show you the best of the first half and news and notes from around the league after this.
Fresno FC. Physio motion. Physical fit.
Nice little cut in. Here's a terrific effort. Blasted back in, and it's a goal for North Carolina FC. What a rip from Connor Presley as Ben Spees lets one fly and drills it. Slides out the way and in.
The boys in purple have dominated.
Ownby charging on, curling to cross. That's excellent for Carpenter. His first goal in Louisville Collins. What a finish for Louisville. They lead.
Cicerone again hitting the cross with pace. Greg! And there's one. The response from Kyle Greg. Russell Cicerone with tremendous service in the second half.
That's to statistically kept unless you're keeping a track on mileage. Does a lot off the ball to draw space for his teammates.
Collier weaving his way through. Elliott Collier for the hat trick. There it is! Elliott Collier.
It's a great opportunity again here for the Hounds.
He goes for goal.
What a shot! What a goal!
Right for his right to party on the 4th of July. What a thunderbolt!
And when the emotion starts to flow, everyone starts to settle in. Then you can push forward and press the goal.
Rios off the post and in. What a missile that is! Goal number 11 of the year in Rios with a phenomenal finish.
Jamison can give it a go from there if he wants. Jamison is it back to Billy Forbes. Billy, right foot. Billy puts it in the back of the
Nick Hawley, let's go.
Halftime break at Chauncey Park in Fresno, and the Foxes and New Mexico United all level at the break. How about we take a look at what's been going on around the USL Championship and beyond, as multiple competitions are ongoing. The U.S. Open Cup is over for the two championship sides that remain, New Mexico and St. Louis. Ottawa could still make the CONCACAF Champions League, but it's going to be tough. They did defeat the Halifax Wanderers, who Dale and I know, major team, of course. The first leg of the Canadian Premier League's side's first Canadian championship, the Voyageurs Cup. How about Salman Asante? He's got double-digit goals and assists now after tonight, but yeah, these domestic contests pretty special.
Yeah, he's special, and you know, there's some other guys in the league that have had great months as well. But when you put 7 goals and 4 assists up in a month, it's hard not to win Man of the Month.
Yeah, well, and sometimes you're on Team of the Week too. And well, he fell out this week after seemingly scoring every possible opportunity. And June Guizzati and Collier up front. Collier a hat trick last time out.
Yeah, Cicerone had a big assist and a goal in the last week's game for St. Louis. And Elijah Martin, who's been good so far tonight, gets in as a wide left player.
And meanwhile, he's not on the Team of the Week yet, but he might be down the line. Congratulations, Vice President of Broadcasting for the USL, Brad Baker, the whole Baker family. The birth of Noah Madison Baker, born Tuesday, July the 9th. Mom and Noah doing great. And we're really excited for the league's newest fan. Welcome, welcome. 7 pounds, 1 ounce. Meanwhile, in Fresno, this game has had it all. Free kicks, penalty kicks, both resulting in goals. We'll show you the best from the first half after these messages.
presented by
Chuck
the
Chansey
Fresno
Park, two
Department
teams
of
on
Public Health.
opposite runs
Thank
of
you
league
all
form.
for your
Fresno and New
attendance
Mexico,
and
players making their way back out, so we'll show you the highlights from the first half. Fresno did jump in front in this game. Dale, it was deserved. This is a team that played quite well, especially in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, they had quite a few opportunities in the first part of the half, and I thought that the partnership between Kudus, Lawal, and Brasilovic was very, very good. The chance from Cooper he'd like to have back again. Big save from Mizell.
And Schmidt goes tumbling over. He would have his moment later. We move forward. And Cooper brought down by Hamilton. Hamilton arguing, but Thompson points to the spot penalty.
Yeah, just the combination of players inside the 18. I thought they were very good in combination, playing in short passes, and Johnson just doesn't make a mistake. He sends Mizell the wrong way and finishes it. But the game started to turn after the not after the PK, but shortly thereafter, and you started to see New Mexico get a little bit more of the ball. And then there's one of the restarts that we saw. It was laid left short, and a chance that that Cochran makes a good save after Muhammad hits the volley. I believe this is the goal. Another short restart, similar position, but Fresno can't deal with the restart and the clearance. And Justin Schmidt with his first goal, and what'd you say, 60 appearances?
That's right. In all competitions over the last 3 years, that ball bounced possibly twice en route. Moar and I think Muhammad were both in that neck of the woods.
And that's by design. So Weehan hits a dipper. He hits it with a little bit of topspin on it, so it's going to come down low and be difficult for defenders to deal with. And if it turns into a scramble in front of the goal, it's advantage for the attacking team.
Is that what you say? Just hit the dipper?
Hit the dipper.
Thompson's ready to go. He's got the line of communications open.
He had water.
He did. Yeah.
He hydrated.
That's ref edge on his side pocket, but it really should be somewhere between a flask and a water bottle. He's checking in with players from both sides. Met with Johnson and Sandoval. And here we go for the second half. Glad you're with us. It's the close of this Saturday night. There is action tomorrow in the championship. The aforementioned Ottawa Fury back in play against Louisville City, the twice reigning champions. But in the Western Conference, this is the end of the night. Fresno and New Mexico on level terms. Mike Watts-Dale Schilly on the call of this one. And Sandoval in possession for New Mexico. He did score in that opener. It was the first goal in New Mexico history.
New life from New Mexico, huh?
No doubt.
Ball speed is much higher than it was in the first half.
Ball clipped across over Sandoval from Estrada. There's an appeal that was an intentional back pass by Ellis Hayden, but the referee's not hearing it.
Great defending from Mickey Daly there. He got shoulder to shoulder with Sandoval. Impeded his Sandoval's ability to get up and get on the end of the header. We've seen Sandoval score a number of goals where he gets up and snaps a header. He's good in the air.
There's the header back toward Brasilovic. Kaffa, former La Liga player at Betis. Dynamic career in Europe. It's away from Moar off of Ellis Hayden.
Twice now we've seen Moar pop inside and Suggs get around the outside. We didn't see that in the first half. Maybe a change of tactics this time around. Try to get Moar more involved in the front half of the field. He wasn't that active in the first half.
It'll be a throw for Ellis Hayden. Brasilovic. Weehan put it right off Ellis Hayden. Ball's been a magnet to him. He's on it again. Ellis Hayden, the cutback. Cooper settles, fires, deflects, gets over the top.
Boy, Jamal Johnson's really sharp. His recognition of where balls need to be played and his ability technically to get it done is very, very
fans, good. It's time for a Central
so there
Valley
he puts,
Toyota dealer's corner kick.
Remember who he put in. He gets the ball into the end line for service.
It's a scoring opportunity for the Zorros. So for
Toyota
Fresno,
corner kick here
let's
for
go.
Pablo Caffa. Header down and in. Back in front go Fresno. Caffa, key assist. Daly's on the other end. Exuberation. 48th minute, Fresno right out of the break.
Caffa with the service. Mickey Daly getting up and challenging. Gets up ahead of it, gets inside of Sampson. Sampson doesn't challenge. Boy, just a cardinal sin for New Mexico as Daly gets up on a free header, unchallenged. Not another player challenging or getting up in the air from it. It's almost disbelief. And knowing Mizell and how good he is on his line, he needs players that are willing to get up and challenge for headers on defending restarts.
How about this? Appearance number 50 for Mickey Daly in his Fresno career. And regular season play, how many goals?
1.
Uno. These center backs are feeling it. Oh, goodness, that's his 8th career goal. All competitions, 1 in the playoffs, 7 in the regular season. Going through North Carolina FC, Bethlehem, Wilmington, Oklahoma City, Sacramento.
Assisted by number 10, Juan.
But I tell you, New Mexico had such a positive start for the first couple minutes, albeit. Let's see if they can maintain the energy and the ball speed that they started with. We could see a second goal from them, make this game very interesting.
By the way, first goal for Daly since 2017 with Oklahoma City. That's all you're going to get because he hasn't scored 2 goals in a season since 2015. Weehan. It's sliced away. Daly's there.
A nice little ball in from Moar. Played it underneath the front runners for Weehan, popping back in at his feet. 2 insightful ball from Weehan in a row. He's in the mood now.
Incredulous look back. Was that Caffa that had his hands in the back and walked away with a smirk? Minimum, he was the one walking away with a smirk.
That's true. Invert Padilla, the right back, inside.
Williams, a dipping effort that's off target.
Yeah, bobbled a little bit on the turf, on the infield.
Stay up to date with Fresno
But again,
FC
now
by visiting our
we see
official
New
website
Mexico
at FresnoFC.com.
inverting their fullbacks, coming
Download the
inside,
Zorro schedule, get all the match day
really
information,
adding numbers
and
in
don't
that
forget to
inside
purchase
channel,
your
so there's a lot of
Fresno
free players
FC
that they
gear.
can play into.
Get the latest news on all things
We saw
Fresno
Muhammad
FC
pop out wide,
at FresnoFC.com.
and Padilla tuck inside as playing as a 6 in the build-up.
Cooper steers further. Basulovic nearly played through the wall. Instead, bounces out. It's Cooper. Now Ellis Hayden drives the cross to the wall, and Basulovic were converging.
Justin Schmidt has to do better on the driven ball. It played in. He goes ahead it. It goes a foot or so over his head, or 6 inches or so over his head. Doesn't deal with it. Then his team is fighting like heck to try to deal with the bounding ball in the back third.
Sandoval chased down Cochran. Now we talk about organization and even eventually the movement that can be a bit disorganizing when the ball is turned over. But that last attack for Fresno, Johnson, Ellis Hayden, and Cooper were all within, what, 20 yards of one another by the time that cross came?
Yeah, just those numbers to be able to support the ball. And they're so patient, and they're good. Their passing is good. They're sharp technically when they receive it. They get their hips opened up. They have ideas of where they're going to play before they get it. It just allows the game to be played faster. Johnson doesn't give an angle there. A little bit lazy as Ellis Hayden gets himself forward. And Johnson, if he gets out to the touch line, can create a 2v1 moment for Fresno, but he's too tight, doesn't give a good angle.
There's Padilla. Gets away. Adam Smith hands that off. Padilla, a late pick in the 2018 MLS Super Draft to the Dynamo. Ended up at Rio Grande Valley out of San Francisco. Played for the Dons. Tack on here. Williams stabs it back. Oh, that's a great turn. Contact. And the referee not going to give that. And the frustration from Moar building. What Wehan just did was nearly unparalleled.
Yeah, there are two great moments. You see Santi Moore again coming inside where we didn't see him in the first half. We see him this time around. And then Wehan just pulling something magical from somewhere. At the top of the box.
Cooper the other way, hammers this out of play. If he gets his hips around on that, he's firing a missile.
Take advantage of our newest family pack, 5 midfield tickets for $55.
You can see now Wehan has found himself higher up the field, and then he's popping back in. He's not hanging in deep. He's much more involved this half. Subs and Moar have been much more active. The relationship seems to be a little better this half than it was in the first half.
Couple blown tires there in a short span. Mohamed's on it now. Be very interested to know the mileage Fresno has put into this game tonight in a literal quantitative sense. Wehan. Padilla. Estrada. And here's the wall again. Combining well with Martin.
Well played by Cudis.
Sulovic. Johnson. That first touch a bit heavier. He would have absolutely hammered that. I think his eyes were aimed about 35 yards away. Both these teams have guys that can score absolute bangers.
Kiramoto's had a nice game. And a lot of the touches has sort of been the safety valve.
Martin Cooper, excellent! Basulovic! The pressure from Mizell may have made that a bit more difficult, but Cooper with an incredible layoff. And Fresno comes up empty-handed remarkably.
What a move. What a move from Fresno. As they get it switched out, Martin gets himself forward. Cooper with a great layoff. I thought for sure we went 3-1. Boy, what a great moment.
Cochran way out. Martin.
He's been phenomenal. If Q is running out of gas, or if he didn't think the ball was gonna run, or he thought the ball was gonna run out of bounds. There's our answer. Starting to pull his socks. Pull his shorts. We've all been there.
Well, you're without Jaime Chavez, so it may be a chance here for Christian Cheney to get himself back into good graces of the staff. Reality's been Chavez and Lual have just played too well for him to get time of late.
Yeah, with Q's performance tonight, how could you take him out of the game? I don't mean out of the game, out of the team.
Sure. Inward touch. That'll come back toward Basulovic. Williams rises up. Jamal Johnson. Suggs, excellent.
Leading by example there. Good tracking, good tackle.
Jamal Johnson Caught by Mizell.
I don't know that the game has really slowed down, though, considering the temps. You know, kudos to both teams for being able to keep a pace fairly high considering the conditions.
And the Vuvuzuela continues to honk too, which is remarkable in its own right.
They only had a tuba.
This ball knocked across, skied away from Lawal. I have a trumpet. Brass is represented. Away from Sandoval by Del Campo. We've been told by resident meteorologist Wes Zentek that the temperature now officially 89 from our earlier 98. The sun going down is a welcome addition to this game for everybody.
Yamamoto's very smart. Reads the movement of the defenders.
Doesn't necessarily pop off the page, does he? I mean,
No.
statistically, it's not really there at all.
He just keeps the game going. And a team like Fresno, where it's not about defend and go on the break and how vertical you can be, it's more about possession and finding ways in. You need guys that can keep the flow going, while other guys are the ones that are going to make the incisive pass. Yamamoto seems to be the one that's helping connect the dots.
Santi Moar is coming off. He put a ton of effort into the midweek. And Kenny Akamatsu will come on at this point, so will come on. Substitution brought to you by Cigna. Moar did score that opening goal against Minnesota United. That is one of the most spectacular moments in New Mexico's very short history. Akamatsu steps on in his place. Moar had some pretty good moments tonight.
Yeah, and that was a plan.
And substitution for
Coach Hossein
Fresno
had,
FC.
at halftime or in the first half, knew that at
Entering
the
the
6-minute
game,
mark,
number 22.
Santi Moar was going to be coming off. And that's why we saw so much activity from Moar to begin the second stanza.
And meanwhile, Juan Pablo Caffa picked out his man. Found Mickey Daly in the 48th. Was on a yellow card as well. And the 34-year-old replaced by young Diego Casillas, the Mexican who scored that game winner against Sacramento in the 77th minute last time out.
Good performance from Caffa. Obviously, restart goal for Mickey Daly. Thought the beginning of the game he was very active in possession and dictated where the game was going to be played from.
Be interesting to see how Akamatsu comes into this game. More often than not wide, but has toyed around with the number 10 role, that attacking midfield role in these last few games. The reality of the matter is without Kevon Frater, there are going to be some moving pieces. Night to C6.
Yeah, and especially when you have your goal down, and you're going to start hunting and searching for that goal.
Play by Daly. Cochran's come up with a couple key stops, one notably on a set piece. More actual efforts on goal from New Mexico at this point, as Lawal got tackled.
interesting to watch the game played by two teams that are willing to keep the game a little more compact and put so many numbers in the inside channel and try to play through that tight space. A lot of transition opportunities, a lot of repressing opportunities.
Then play by Del Campo. Johnson, not any further there. And Estrada. Cooper lost it. Wehan. Estrada now. Bodied up by Kurimoto. And Lawal gives chase. Mentioned earlier, New Mexico is going to get Cardiff City in an international friendly next. Well, friendly against an international side. San Antonio FC just played Cardiff tonight. A 1-0 loss and got a lot of their academy kids involved in that game as well.
And New Mexico will have to rest some legs. They've got to be fighting to get through this one.
Cooper crossing, headed up and over by Lawal. Another nice combination between Cooper and Basulovic.
Basulovic is so good getting onto the ball and keeping it tight and tidy, getting himself turned. We talked about how he gets his hips turned up quickly and easily on the turn.
Visit the Fresno FC team store located in the southwest corner of the concourse. FBI section 119 tonight to get your Zorro's gear. Fresno FC kids and Adidas collection are in stock.
For the wall.
Sandoval and Cooper getting into a bit of a tussle.
At first glance, I thought Devin may have tried to headbutt him. I don't think he did, but they're both settled. There's no issues here. It's a reflex.
The New Mexico fans were far more incensed than the Fresno ones, the New Mexico players rather. Now a little chatter room, Basulovic with the referee. Everybody's getting their word in.
Cute thinking it was a good idea to make a 20-yard run. When he got there and the ball got played back, he thought maybe that's not such a good idea.
Depends how many more minutes he can expect to be in this game, I would imagine.
Next time, if he splits the two center backs, the ball won't come back. He won't have to run back again. He'll figure it out. Do enough of those in the heat.
Well, that's intercepted by Casillas, but wasn't able to quite turn the corner. Thrown in here, Akamatsu.
We've seen a little bit of a change now. We'll watch a little longer, but it looks like Cooper could be playing left back behind Johnson, and Martin slid into the center of the park.
Yeah, looks like it. Sandoval. That was nearly a pretty incisive pass, and Del Campo slots it out.
They put Akamatsu on the right. Sorry, Casillas on the right. Sorry.
Ball knocked across and falls kindly. Williams.
Williams would like to have that one back. There's a couple half chances he's had that he didn't really connect. Had one earlier that he spun past the post. Looked like it hopped up on him. This one, I just don't think he got a hold of it.
Williams won League Two with the Charlotte Eagles. Dave Dixon coached that side. He's now an assistant at Indy. Perlisane, coming from Charlotte Independence, knew Dave Dixon quite well. Didn't really know Ryan Williams all that well personally. Connection was made. Williams has been a pretty valuable piece year one. It's amazing how you find guys year one.
You find guys any way you can.
An assistant that you were buddies with. You think about Fresno, they went through the Fuego for some guys, some local guys that have had some really special moments for their hometown club. You think about New Mexico, Schmidt has experience around Albuquerque, Sandoval. You go down the list, there's some guys that really bleed those colors. Weehan, Suggs.
Sandoval did well to get his body in on Mickey Daly. If he lets it drop, he actually can hold the ball up. A little impatient there. Maybe he didn't realize that he sealed Mickey from the ball as well as he did. The center backs from New Mexico are struggling dealing with these flighted balls from the goalkeeper. I think just from the wall's presence.
Sulovich thought about it, hung up in the air on him, slides it forward. Ellis Hayden, bouncing ball, the wall on the turn. The wall fighting further. This will be a goal kick for Mizell in New Mexico.
There's no lack of effort from the wall. We said it early about how difficult it would be for a center back to play against him. Mickey Daly just wins a clean header.
Mohammed.
Dropping way back now, trying to influence the game in any way he can.
Flag raised here. Change coming, and Tommy Madden, the rookie, makes his 9th appearance of the season and his first in a month going back to June the 16th against Las Vegas. This is his 9th appearance, but you think about it, 4 of those came in the month of March.
Another flooded ball that nobody deals with. Falls inside the 18.
Chance to flight that across. Instead, Casillas. How do you stop that influx of long, direct balls that seem to...
You win them. You win the head.
Oh, excellent. Pasulovic.
Their partnership is quite good. You know, it's a yin and a yang. You have power and athleticism and explosiveness in Lawal. You have technique and ideas in Basulovic.
Casillas goes down, so the referee thought about advantage. The back pass was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah. Once he saw that the back pass was going to slow the game down and allow New Mexico to get reorganized, then blows the whistle and pulls the ball back for the restart.
Well, Koff is out, so you already have to dig a little deeper into the well. Basulovic will take this free kick. Johnson's got ideas.
Hit a lefty. Cooper's going to hit a lefty. He's going to swing it in. With the line.
Cooper.
The line dropped deep like that. Swinging it in is the right move. Got a little more loft on the ball. To commit Mizell at the back post.
Fresno fans are enjoying the night.
There's both wing backs tucked all the way in as sixes.
Renato Bustamante and Robert Earnshaw are having a conversation on the sideline. That looks to be Fresno's next move. Slide in, will deflect off of Suggs and get out for a Fresno throw with 17 minutes in stoppage to play.
Mexico's going to have to find something. We haven't seen real chances as of late from them. We haven't seen CJ Cochran to really come up with anything big as of late.
That's FFC Boxes on all social media platforms.
We had the near moment of brilliance from Weeham. It was really the last threatening moment from New Mexico when some of the New Mexicans thought maybe a foul, maybe a PK.
Daniel Bruce comes on. Estrada back into the starting lineup. They felt he had trained really well lately. They were happy to get him going in the second half against Minnesota. And Bruce
the game, number 19.
earned the shirt there for a while for the field. New Mexico exhausted their substitutes.
From Padilla.
On Corks. Cleared out Suggs. Circulating for New Mexico United. Lead onward. That's a well-intentioned and well-executed slide by Mickey Daly.
Tommy Madden's showing a little inventiveness and creative running as he tries to get in behind the back four from a midfield spot.
Wall couldn't sneak that by Schmidt. Bruce and Madden actually played together at UNC Charlotte. Bustamante coming on. That's the end for the man who scored Fresno's opening goal. It was a penalty in the 18th. Jamal Johnson comes off. Fresno tries to defend their lead.
You know, the goal is the PK, and he finished it, but thought he was very, very active in the first half. Some good attacking moments. Had the one shot that he hit over top, but in possession, I thought he was quite good, particularly in the first 25 minutes or so of the game.
Nice acrobatic initial clearance, and that gets out to the halfway line. Padilla turned over on that diagonal cutting ball. Martin's had himself a day. Cooper lines up the cross and steered away. Falls kindly. Casillas.
Make it 2-2, huh?
Tonight's Riley's Brew Club Row of the Match is section 122.
You'd like to have it back again.
Row 5.
Like
congratulations, you've won a free Riley's Burger courtesy of Riley's Brew Club in Clovis.
Casillas
hang tight.
Gets on the end of the second ball.
Will bring down your prize shortly.
Just didn't get it right. First touch didn't leave him in a bad spot. Justin Smith's going to have to head the ball up, though. It's maybe a little bit difficult because having to move back on it. Be willing just to pass the ball, to get full possession, and get themselves organized.
Martin, overlap arrives. Cutting inside, Ellis Hayden! And that is parried aside by Mizell. Those wingers and fullbacks love to cut inside.
Yeah, and just the ball movement to get there was nice. Ellis Hayden's quietly had a good game
fans,
as well.
Time for another Central Valley Toyota Dealers corner kick.
Good save. Good save, doesn't leave the rebound anywhere that can be a problem. Well done by Mizell, well done by Hayden.
Del Campo, Fresno's at it again. What's he doing there?
Mexico's got to find a way to reach down and get another chance or two. Right now it feels like Fresno is the one that's being inventive.
Bustamante. Back to Mizell. That hopped up on him a bit. Maintained by Madden. Hopped over the top. Weehan has the runner coming in Bruce. But Weehan will do it himself. Cochran parries away. Follow Sandoval right at Cochran.
Really good save from Cochran. Really good save from Cochran. We see Weehan getting himself forward. Cuts the ball back against Mickey Daly. Big save. And Sandoval would like that one back. Oh, he has a free chance and he hits it right at Cochran.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're him and you come sprinting in on that, it's already in the air, you have every chance to put that on the moon.
Through the net. or over the stadium. But you know, Devin wants to go for it. He needs to get in there. He hit it side-footed. I'm sure he was probably of two minds because it was such a free moment.
Oh, here they come again. Bruce cracking across. It's beyond Sandoval. Looked like that had broken down. Now it does. They're trying to spring Lual. Flag stayed down. Poked away by Hamilton. Lual continues. Lifting the cross. Casillas has to backtrack. Bustamante deflects away now from Schmidt. Ellis Hayden. Poked along, and it rolls longingly through the 18 for any touch.
I think it's an indicator of how the legs are.
It is 100 degrees at kickoff, and now we're seeing it.
Yeah. I would say the three guys that have come on for New Mexico have done a really good job of impacting the game. So when you look at Akumatsu, you look at Madden, you look at Bruce, they've all had an impact in the front half. Madden through his running and his work. Bruce was inventive here down the flank. Akamatsu's coming inside and getting involved. And that's what you have to have when you're, particularly when you're chasing it. You need guys that come off the bench that are going to fill their role and impact the game. You can't bring guys on that aren't going to change it.
Bruce, Meehan.
He's really come alive here in the second half. Been much better the second half than the first. So active.
It's getting into the area, chance to cross. This is through, Bruce on the run. Settles it, Weehan, the cutback, Weehan now! And that'll come back the other way. And roll out, corner.
It's good to see Suggs get to the end line. In this type of game where the game's so tight, it's good to see him get forward and get service. Weehan and Bruce with a great ball for Weehan. Weehan showing his great feet and composure. Almost scores with a shot and then gets blocked and comes out for a corner. Neat quality here.
Weehan steered away, kept alive, knocked wide here. Weehan serving header caught. Cochran.
Great decision from Cochran. Those sort of services, sometimes keepers will come out and they get caught in no man's land. As we see here, the service comes and he drops straight to his line to deal with any sort of header. As Daniel Bruce provides a quality service. He's impacted it since he's come into the game, Bruce.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cooper, if you're Fresno, you've got one sub left. You wonder how soon they're going to consider using it. Lifted up, Vasilovic. Dropping off, Martin!
Qudis Lawal is really having a game. Great little layoff there. Martin's having a game.
Tonight's Chevron fan winner is Patrick Ortiz. Congratulations, Patrick Ortiz. You've won 4 VIP club tickets
for a 1-2. I thought that Busulic would have turned and hit it, and is that Martin that put it wide? Yeah.
You want to talk about guys that, let's be frank, don't make the most money in the world. We're having very impressive games. Martin, Qudis Lawal, I mean, guys that are just effort and energy and that little bit extra. They have been phenomenal tonight.
Both of them have something to offer as well in terms of technique and their impact on the game.
Arun Vasilovic deserves more than he got, but ultimately it falls on him to not have the final touch.
He should have scored. He missed the chance in the nice little dummy flick here in the second half. He needed to finish that opportunity, but he's had one whale of a game. Playing underneath Qudis, he has been phenomenal.
And a guy from an impressive academy program on that at the moment. Weehan knocked down, kept out by Cochran.
Weehan's smart. He's so smart. He sees Cochran cheating. Think he's going to come off his line and deal with the service, and Weehan almost sneaks it past him.
Amir Alihadzic comes on out of the St. Louis Scott Gallagher Academy.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Amir. Good, solid player. Scored against me when he was with Seattle.
And I called that game.
Yeah, and you called that game. It's a small world.
We were looking over the roster and talking about guys we knew and had been around over the years, and you went, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Time's ticking, though, on New Mexico. They've got another chance or two in them.
I think all in all, if you're New Mexico, whether you get a result here on the road or not, and Fresno historically, very difficult place to get a result. The overall response I would deem quite positive considering how this could have gone tonight.
For sure. For sure. They've certainly put in the work. They started slow. For sure you could see that they had heavy legs and a little bit hung over from the Open Cup run. But they've caught on, and we saw quite a bit of energy from them around the time period when they scored, and certainly here in the second half.
Not over Sandoval. It did break through Fresno. That's the first time a team had scored on them in over 230 minutes. They're trying to get 3 straight shutouts for the first time in their history in the league. 40th minute equalizer. Look at Casillas trying to break down Hamilton.
But again, I don't want to keep saying it, but it's another punted, driven ball that's not dealt with on a header. And we're talking about something that's pretty elementary, to be honest. And there I see Schmitz letting a ball run. I think he ducks it on purpose, thinking it's going to go out for a goal kick, but a little more testy than that.
By Madden, who runs into Lawal.
Great hold up play from Qudis.
I think this is the most complete 90 minutes I've seen from Qudis Lawal.
Yeah. He had a little bit of a vacation in there, which he's prone to do, but the moments where he's been in it has been quite good.
Bustamante, oh, that goes off the top of the post. Mizell got a piece of that. Lawal had set it up again. And it's a corner.
An unbelievable save. An unbelievable save from Mizell. Kudus Lawal gets it in for Bustamante, who does everything right. And Mizell stones him. The reaction there is how quick he gets down and gets a hand to that is incredible.
Here's another Central Valley Toyota Dealers corner kick.
You know, Fresno has had maybe 3 or 4 golden opportunities to end the game, and they haven't been able to do it. Does New Mexico have something left in them?
.88 minutes gone now. For Fresno, they cannot close ground on Phoenix. Their earlier 1-0 win in the Central Time Zone against RGV guaranteed that. The Rising have won now 9 in a row. Adam John, go-ahead goal in that game. But Fresno can stay within 4 with a game in hand, within striking distance.
That's incredible. You know, to have a team that has won, Phoenix has won how many?
9.
9 in a row, and you're still within 4 points.
If you seal this deal.
Yeah, if you seal this deal, you're within 4 points. That's amazing.
And I think if you're New Mexico, you go play Cardiff on Thursday, and then you start your season over.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll be fine. The pieces are all there. They need a little bit of a breather. I'm surprised Kudus made it the whole game. I thought there for a while he was going to have to come off, but he's made it through, and he's still impacting the game as a target and still working hard. Found a way to get his second breath.
It up on the turn, Elijah Martin will accept a throw for that work. We're into stoppage time.
There is 3 minutes of stoppage time. 3 minutes of stoppage time remaining.
Can New Mexico find their equalizer? Will Fresno continue this torrid run of form?
A little difficult last few minutes. Long last few minutes as a coach. You know you should get out of here with your 3 points. You're on edge. You overcoach. You do everything you can away from the ball to organize your team.
Luwal took a knock there. Referee has to hop skip over that, and here comes New Mexico. Gutsy effort by New Mexico. Will they be rewarded here?
Unless they find Weehan somehow. I don't know where it's going to come from. I know Sandoval or other guys could score, but I don't know where the service or where the ball in, the last pass, where it's going to come from.
Casillas, Bustamante, Kurimoto.
Unbelievable. Kurimoto is always in the right spot.
Here comes Martin. Can he seal the deal? That slide late was phenomenal to prevent a one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
Padilla, huh? Padilla with great cover.
A point now can be single-handedly attributed to that if New Mexico scores. Martin continues, goes down under the light challenge of Sam Hamilton.
Fresno, Del Campo slowing the game down.
Luol take this off to the corner. 7 saves by C.J. Cochran. Daly and Johnson score. And New Mexico, maybe one more look at this. Driving forward, glancing effort by Luol. He was offside. Mizell sprinting forward.
Mizell waving the linesman higher. He's managing the game as well.
May not even be time for a second ball. Mizell hammers it forward. Cochran brings it down. And Fresno takes all 3 points. 6 unbeaten. And they're back within 4 at the top of the West. 6 straight winless for New Mexico. And after that epic Open Cup run, a testy performance, did have their chances. Fresno survives. And for New Mexico, they look forward to trying to turn this thing around. All their attention will be back on it, but for Fresno, real sweet night. And tonight's man of the match is brought to you by El Mexicano. 7 saves, C.J. Cochran, excellent.
Yeah, he's been solid. Some of his decision-making with coming out for balls or getting back to his line, the stop shots were on the money, distribution was good. Had a real solid performance tonight.
And a former goalkeeper, Adam Smith, the goalkeeper coach, giving props to his main man. As we take a look at tonight's moment of the match, it's brought to you by McCarty Insurance. And this was far from an insurance goal. It's the game winner, Kaffa to Daly.
Yeah, 2 veterans, huh? Leave it to the guys with the wisdom. Mickey Daly gets up and gets a free header. Kaffa with a brilliant service.
Both on the all 30 years plus team.
Could be.
And the flags are waving, the smoke is billowing. And Fresno is a winner at full time. It's the Foxes 2, New Mexico United 1. We'll wrap this one up right after this. Tonight's Zoom image of the match is brought to you by Zoom Imaging Solutions. Jamal Johnson, the penalty that gave Fresno the lead in the 20th minute. Picture worth 1,000 words.
Yeah, he had a very good game tonight, and this one sends the keeper the wrong way, and he slots it home. But it was an important goal for Fresno as they had the game going their direction. They needed that goal to get on top.
Well, you went great to good in a real hurry. Let's take a look at the save of the game brought to you by BMW. Stop by and test drive the all-new 2019 BMW 3 Series at BMW Fresno. And enormous, not once but twice from Cochran.
Yeah, Sandoval would like it back again. Weehan hit it well, and Cochran with the big save, and Sandoval just couldn't put it away.
Man, Fuego has got moves on top of the dugout tonight, and Cochran, after that man of the match performance, taking photos on the sideline as we take a look at how Fresno came away with their 2-1 win over New Mexico United. And the opening goal comes via penalty. Hamilton knocking down Alex Cooper. This in the 17th, 18th minute. Jamal Johnson cashes in.
And the ball that got played in was from Martin, who I thought had a phenomenal game as the outside back. And then when he moved in and played as the center midfield player. But Johnson, no mistake, finishes it. See if this is the goal. Yes, the scramble in front from the driven, dipping restart from Weehan. Schmidt gets on the end of it and finishes, go 1-1.
40th minute, as they say, just hit the dipper. This is not a dipper. That's Kaffa finding Daly his first goal in a Fresno shirt.
Yeah, just the no challenge will be the message in the video room this week. We got a challenge on every restart, and a free header from an experienced Mickey Daly from the 6-yard box. You can't live with it.
And then late on, boy, did Mizell come up big to keep New Mexico in it.
Certainly, Cody Mizell was brilliant tonight. He had 3 or 4 very, very good saves, and this was as difficult as any.
And your full-time stats, Mizell officially credited with 3 saves, but that feels like we're shorting him quite a margin. In the end, 2-1 win, and your final thoughts on this one, Dale?
Yeah, I thought Fresno was good. I thought in particular, I thought Martin was very good. I thought Kirimoto was very good, and I thought the partnership between Basulovic and Lawal was outstanding, and Q put in a lot of work.
For Fresno, Portland Timbers 2 next on July the 20th, and they're away to Austin. For New Mexico, the friendly against Cardiff City Thursday. Then they're at Sacramento back in Northern California Wednesday, July the 24th. For our entire Vista WorldLink team led by producer Wes Zentek, Juan Valenzuela, our director, Manny Simone, Neil Shelley alongside Mike Watts saying, thanks for watching. It was a center back show. Who would have thought? Fresno, a 2-1 win. They're second in the West. Thanks for watching. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.